Good morning and welcome back to our channel. I am Joel.
And I'm Merlene.
And today we are coming back to you with some answers for some of the questions we had in the comments.
Part 2, because we didn't cover all of them last time. And if we sound a little bit croaky, it is kind of early around here. But you do what you gotta do, right?
All right, are you ready to get into the questions?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, the first question, are we able to contact family that remains in the Amish community? Yes, we are able to contact family, and that'd be more your side of the family. So if you want to share something about it?
It's definitely not something I take for granted. It is 10 years plus since we left, and so yeah, it was rough in the beginning, and definitely relationships were, there was definitely some hard times with that. But I would say it's a lot better, and I am so grateful for that. Just a couple of weeks ago, we got together with some extended family on my side, and we definitely had a good time. So just one thing that I'll add, for those of you who that has not been your experience, I just want you to know that I'm sorry, and I do know in part the pain of being rejected during those transitions in your life, and I just pray that you and your family will eventually be able to connect on some level, even if you can't connect spiritually, at least be able to get together and greet each other, and because that is a priceless gift.
Yes.
Question number 2.
Yes, so do the Mennonites shun people like the Amish? To tell our story, we have been shunned from the Mennonite church. Excommunicated. But as a whole, I don't think they'll shun people as soon as the Amish do. In my growing up years, I grew up in the Mennonites, and what I can recall, there was only one incident where they would have had excommunicated someone.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot less, or it's a lot more rare, if that makes sense. Yeah. And one thing that we wanted to share on that note as well, we personally believe in most situations, I'm not saying it is that way across the board, but at least in our experience, they're simply doing what they feel like they need to do.
Yeah.
Like they actually feel like they have to do that to you if you don't follow through with what they're asking of you, or maybe in the Amish setting, if you choose to leave the church or change to another church. So yeah, even though it hurts, and like I wish it could have been maybe done differently, I truly believe they meant it well in our situation, and they felt like they had to do that for us, or to us, however you for us.
Yeah.
However that makes sense. And also something that I found out later was, so we were excommunicated for a few years, and for some time I was kind of confused by it, like why or what's going on. And then we learned later that it was actually, how did they say? It was actually for, do you remember how that was said?
It was a warning for the others. So
like if they felt like if they would have released us from the ban or excommunication earlier, it would have maybe not been as much of a warning to other people to not do what we did.
Yeah. But something that has brought healing to the situation is several years after we were excommunicated, they contacted us and said that they released us from the excommunication. So we are not excommunicated anymore.
Yeah, that meant a lot to us, and it definitely raised my respect that they were willing to reach out and to do that for us. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, the third question. What church do you go to now? It's a non-denominational church where most of us would come from the Amish and Mennonite background. There are some that don't have Amish or Mennonite background, but for the most part, that's
Yeah,
what
we
we consist
definitely
of.
welcome people from outside the
Yes,
culture.
yes, we love meeting new people,
Mhm.
even people like you said outside of the culture,
Mhm.
and they bring something. They have a perspective on things, a different perspective than what we would or we
Mhm.
would have grown up with, and it just helps to broaden my picture of God,
Mhm.
because I think we can so easily put God in a box, and
Yeah.
um,
That does happen, especially if you're like in a very sheltered, closed type of setting.
yeah,
You do start to become a little bit narrow-minded.
yeah,
And the part that you shared, that most people come from the Amish or Mennonite culture,
yeah,
um, that has actually been a big blessing for me, just to be surrounded with people that understand the culture and understand where we're coming from. It's definitely created a safe space for me to kind of relearn my identity and be able to process maybe some of the things that we had to work through, or that some of the pain that we had to process, if that makes sense. Because sometimes when some hard stuff happens, you have to work through it. Like, you
yeah,
can't just go on as if though nothing happened. And it has definitely helped a lot to be surrounded with people that understand it, that care, and that are also on a similar journey of pursuing God and figuring out, like, we value our, like, where we came from, we value our heritage, but what do we want to pass on to our children? What does God want for the next generation? So we're by no means perfect.
yeah,
But that has been a huge blessing. So if any of you ever watch this, just know that we appreciate you
yes,
guys, and you have done a lot for us
yes,
in the last 5 years of doing life with you.
yes. So another thing we wanted to mention yet concerning the last Q&A,
Mm-hmm.
we are, what we talk about the Mennonites, we are simply sharing our story,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to, we're not trying to paint a bad picture
Mm-hmm.
about the Mennonites or for the Mennonites.
I think, or at least in reading the comments later, it seemed like some people were feeling like we're trying to, like, say, like, give an exclusive picture of this is how every situation is. No. That was our experience. We're not trying to be negative. People asked, and so we're being honest as to why. We had lots of people asking, like, why did you leave, what was going on? And so we were honest and we told you. But so please remember that we're not trying to put anybody down. We actually highly value them. It's just simply not the direction that our paths took. And yeah, I just encourage our viewers to keep that in mind, that that is not our heart or our intent.
Yes, the Mennonites have been a huge part of our life,
Mm-hmm.
and we value them.
Exactly.
That's where I grew up at. That's where I became a Christian. That's where I
Mm-hmm.
learned to follow Jesus. That's where
Mm-hmm.
I learned about the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many good values there, so many good ethics.
So, in closing, if you don't agree with our answers to these Q&As, to the questions you asked, we're actually okay with that, because we're not even professing to be right.
Yeah.
We definitely don't have this completely figured out. We're just being honest. We're sharing our story. Yes, it feels vulnerable, but it has meant a lot to us if people are willing to be honest and share about their lives. And especially during that time of transition for us,
Yeah.
I would have loved to be able to hear from people that are coming out of situations like that, or from situations like that, and they're not wanting to just throw everything away or become bitter. And if that makes sense, like, it grieves me when I see so many young people, or so many people coming from the Amish or the Mennonite culture, and they're like, we had a bad experience, we want nothing to do with it. And I get that. It can be extremely painful, and the betrayal can go very, very deep because of the close-knitness of family and community, etc.
Yeah.
It can really hurt. But yeah, we just want to encourage other people out there to, take your time, take things to God. And we're just here to share our journey, and we're okay with it. If it's not what you agree with or what you believe in, that's totally okay. We're not trying to persuade you differently.
Yes. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support. We appreciate you all, and
Yes.
thanks for saying hi to us when you meet us in person.
Yeah, that definitely encourages us, and that's what keeps us going, is getting to talk to you guys in person.
Yes.
So if you have said hi, thank you. And
Yes.
if you see us, you're welcome to come over.
Yes.
All right, we'll catch you next time.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And